Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Stephanie Johnson with us. She's the founder of Singles and the City. So welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thank you, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining us. We'll dive into the first one. The first question I have for you, Stephanie, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
I think the best story from my life that has an underlying message would be never sell out on your fundamentals. I like to stay very aware, I like to stay quote unquote woke. And I think you just need to just know exactly what your baseline is and just stick to that.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Definitely continue to take your time and seek inner healing. Big on healing, big on being healthy so you can attract another healthy person, et cetera, et cetera.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Yeah, overall piece of business advice, pace yourself. People get so hot and bothered that, business is not booming within the first year or two. Things do not happen overnight. Go slow and go with the rhythm of the doors being open for you and just proceed.
Yeah. And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
You know what? I can tell my younger self, you won't always be able to see in front of you, but just keep walking. Things are awesome.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
For me, the key to happiness is living in truth. And for me, truth that I found is Jesus Christ. So I'm a follower of Christ. I think it's great.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I read a lot of great books, but the two books that I keep going back to, The Richest Man That Ever Lived by Stephen K. Scott, which is one of my favorite authors. He was friends with Steve Jobs, and a bunch of them went to high school together. And then Winology by Joel Scribner, who is a corporate life coach out of McKinney, Texas. And
what is your favorite quote and why?
Favorite quote would be something I say all the time is, in all your ways, acknowledge God and he will direct your path. Because basically that's how I live my life. I just want to do something, try to follow what God is doing, and usually something amazing happens. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for coming on. The last question that I have for you is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
www.singlesandthecity.com, and I'm also living on Instagram at OhSoStephanie. So that's OhStephanie. Thank you so much for this wonderful time.
Perfect. Thanks again, Stephanie. We'll talk with you soon.
You're welcome. Thanks.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.